Good evening, good evening. Why'd say Mal Day in the studio there? Should say the Sunday night of the buggers. Hello, you know the drill. Say hello if you're here. I click buttons while you do. Just make sure everything is hunky-dory. Is everything hunky-dory? The internet can totally see you now according to YouTube. Right then. Everything's hunky-dory then. Better crack on then, haven't we? Hello, folks. Right, let me bring my comments up. Who've we got? Yeah, Acrylia, Long Run, Ice Dragon, Jazz, Graham, Dave, Garrison, Blasphemy, Judy. Keep it coming. Zex. Zed. James is in. I'll just have a little bite of my brew while you all guys settle into the stream. A little bit of my brew. God, you paint some models and Graham, Patrick, Andrew, Anthony, and Morph, Braggy. Hey, Braggy. The gang's all here. Has everyone had a good weekend? Have we been busy bees? Captain, Gang of Maz, Michael, Terry. Loving your Fable Realms build, mate. Thanks, buddy. Challenging build. Challenging build. I'll talk about that in a minute. Sammy. Hey, Bill. All right, what are we up to? About 40 viewers. Slow start for us on a Sunday. Fattest bloke. I love that name. Yep, no modelling, but 2 great meals out. Nice one, Anthony. Nice one. We actually got some painting done, didn't we?
We did. And Pride.
Yeah, we did Pride as well. We did Stoke Pride. And what you call it? We did some painting. Mel, do you have the Hobbit map? I do. It's on the wall in the studio. Did some work on my Spectre terrain, starting with a container. Nice one, James. Seems like you're having fun and is looking great. Thank you. I thought I was looking a little bit rough today, to be perfectly honest.
You need to shave stuff.
Do I?
Yeah.
All right then. Went to Phoenix. Yeah, what you call it? Phoenix was on. What else was on? Penkridge Wargaming was on. I didn't realise that was on this weekend. Oh, she's gone, mate. Liked your car container video. Thanks, Morph. What was Phoenix like? Good terrain? Sunday beard, Mel. Why not? Weekend beard, to be truthful. Weekend beard. I have this sort of ritual that I don't like shaving on the weekend. You know, unless we're going out or something like that. But more than a couple of days growth and I start to look like a street, like, I look like a tramp, to be perfectly honest. I need to cut my hair. It's getting a bit long. Kez has been convincing me to dye it. Yeah? And it's like, nah. Because if I dyed my hair, you lot would rip the flock out of me. But Phoenix saying, thank you for all your videos. I really learned a lot. It's what I'm here for, bud. You know what I mean? I have Hormicus. Kez dye her hair. Kez dyes her hair all the time. We have a rule in this house, yeah, that if Kez goes to dye her hair, she has to buy 2 packets. One to dye it with and then one to fix the mistake. Yeah, this rule exists because when she used to dye her hair, what she used to do was dye her hair, then send me out for like to fix her hair dye. And I got that sick and tired of being sent out that I said, no, you just buy 2. And if you don't buy 2 and you haven't got one to fix it, then you're going to have to go out with your dodgy hair and buy one. Hey, Jace, how you doing? Ginger saying, I am new to the channel this week, already done 3 dioramas. That's banging, man. Hey, Jace. Just sandpaper it. That might hurt. Josh saying, pretty new to your channel, but loving the videos. Going to try and make some hills with expanding foam for 30k. Nice, dude. Enjoy. I'm getting into bot action, so your terrain tutorials have been a great inspiration and excellent learning materials. Thank you. No worries, Captain. Good rule. I know, Michael. There's only so many times you can send Mel up to the shop before he says, no, it's your hair, your mistake, buy 2. The building was the terrain. What do you mean by that, Graham? Mel, just curious, have you taken the Fable Realms method skill approach to a diorama gaming board before? What do you mean, Gangamaz? I don't understand what you mean by the Fable Realms method skill. Hey, Michael? He's popping in. He's looking forward to the video on Tuesday. Right, just to give you a heads up, you remember a little while ago I was going to do the, the Sunday the Natter Day, the Sunday talk show. I took your advice on that, to be perfectly honest, and I looked at it and I thought, you know what, that's going to be extra stress I don't need right now. It's a damn good idea, and it's something I want to do, but right now I don't need the aggro, yeah? And I don't need to be burnt out. I've got other things to sort of concentrate and improve on. But a load of people did actually send me stuff for the terrainiacs showcase part of it. And it's like, well, I can't let those people down. So I've got a terrainiacs showcase vid coming out on Tuesday. So that's Tuesday's vid. So you'll be seeing some of your guys' work. And if it goes down well and you like it, then I will commit to doing one of those a month. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see how it goes. But I had to sort of show off, you know what I mean? Show off the work I've been sent in, because it wouldn't be right not to. Hi, how can I make cheap snow effects? Loads of different ways, mate. You can go with anything from white acrylic filler, baking soda works, but it's got to be sealed well, so seal it with matte varnish. Foreground do snow flock. There's various flocks and that sort of stuff. Norville, first time in chat. Hello, bud. And Jace is tired but good. I have a question. How many options do you have for the towns? Not sure yet, Michael, but it's still very much. I was having a chat with, I'm assuming you're talking about the Fable Realms project. I was having a chat with, Adam, about how we're going to do it. And because of the time scale and having to get things in place before painting and that sort of stuff, what we decided is we'd go with placeholders, but that was essentially like slaughter bases. Yeah, because that gives us a little bit extra time to actually figure out what we can do. Now, the default thing that we can do and what we're planning on doing is we're having little laser cut stand-ups, 3mm stand-ups to sort of slide in to represent them. And that's our fallback if we can't get something sculpted or made in time. And because they're slaughter bases, we can put those in place. They'll look great, okay? But in the future, if we get time to get actual stuff sorted, or if the foreground's sorted, or whatever actually happens, yeah, we can just take those out and drop in the proper ones. So a little bit fluid on that count at the minute. So I'm watching some random crafting videos on YouTube. DMG, I think. Pop out to make a cuppa, come back in, and Mel bloody boasts on it. Yeah, what you call it? I nipped into the chat. Was it last night or the night before? I think it was Friday night. And I just nipped into the chat and what you call it? And DMG was there. And he just invited me on, so I thought, hey, up. In for a pound, in for a penny. Green foam, still before or after plaster? After, mate. You want the plaster to soak in and fill all those holes first. It looks like we're going straight for the questions, doesn't it? I know what he's with me. My wife has seen what you did with the map and wants me to make a coffee table with Lord of the Rings map in it. Do it, dude. Do it, Ice. Yeah, Anthony's saying irregular miniatures do a 2mm range. Yeah, I've checked them out. There were a load of different suggestions, so I've basically put them all in a folder and I'm slowly working through them because at the end of the day, it's got to be signed off by foreground as well. Another option of how to do the towns is part of the minis from the Kickstarter. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not sure. You see, foreground of their towns and their towns on the map also match their product ranges, which are quite distinctive. So I have a feeling that we're going to be doing something more along those lines. Jace is doing his thing. It even makes me cry. It does. Yeah, obviously this is like part of the fundraiser for the channel. If you jump on Patreon or you jump on PayPal during a live show, yeah, you get your name on the screen and we all get happy. And if you guys do that silly thing where you actually like really late, you know, I dance and that sort of stuff. You're everywhere, Mel, like a crafting fungus. Cheers, bud. Thanks very much. I'm a fun guy. Oh, that's a bad joke, innit? Did that? I asked because it still seems kind of soft after plaster, seal and paint. Norville, what you using, expanded or extruded, dude? Evening, Gaz? I still think 3D modelling is the best option, but would take more time. And I agree with you, mate. Yeah, but like I say, you know, me and Adam were much on the same plan of actually, you know, if we just put cuts, make some slaughter bases, then we have that time. So I know what you call it. I know Foreground are doing a lot with, is it Zealot Miniatures? Zealot Miniatures are doing the casting and the 3D and the models and that sort of stuff. And so I'm wondering whether Adam's going to have a chat with them and say, look, could you do us some tokens? You know what I mean? As part of the project. Well, the crafting fungus is on his chin. Oh, you can shut up, Jace. Green, green floral foam. Test it out. Probably just a weak foam. Yeah, it does break down a lot. I thought you meant the green high density stuff. If you're talking about Oasis, then I've never really had brilliant results with it, to be perfectly honest. I think it depends, yeah, on where you're buying it from. I think the UK version of Green Oasis is a lot softer than other countries because every Oasis I've ever played with has just crumbled in my hands. You know, and it's something like, even with plaster on, I've never been that impressed with it. Chris still can't get connected? I wonder why not. Make TWD prisons, please. Maybe one day, mate. Eddie at Zealot is a gem of a bloke. I don't know the guy. I do like his stuff, but I know Foregrounds I've watched it, have a relationship with him. Mal, have you ever made your own plaster bandages? I have. I've made hydrocal bandages, and that's where you use bandage and then you use a casting powder. Not plaster of Paris, but hydrocal, and it's just a matter of dipping it and laying it down. The bandages that mainly there as a substructure to hold it all together, help it bind. But to be perfectly honest, I think I pay about 60 or 70p for, you know, a roll of plaster bandage. So it's not worth the effort. Purback? Oh, your Weybridge was awesome, man. The one on the terrainiacs group. I mean, when you first posted the pictures of the engraving, that was like, that's nice work. And then when you posted the bridge, that was like, damn, man. Danger. What part of England are you from, boss? I'm from Stoke, mate, in the Midlands. What's the decisions on the mountains? Right now, I'm thinking about going foil casting them. Yeah, but I have to have a play tomorrow for that. So I'm going to have a play tomorrow, see what sort of results I can get. And then we're just going to have to give it a go. Welcome, Scott. Mel, are you going to be throwing slime tonight? No, we haven't got any at the moment. Where do you get your flocks? I buy mine from Jarvis Scenics. Yeah, Jarvis. Jarvis.co.uk. Josh is from Stoke. Hey up. Crawley's there. Hello, Crawley. That's rendering fast. There you are, Jason's getting the Stoke Club going. Do you ever use spray foam for anything? If you mean expanding foam, then yeah, there's a video on it in Carving Hills. How can I make something from what I have in my house? I don't know what you've got in your house, mate.
Getting good at brambles, isn't he?
All right. What kind of PVA do you use? I use Baker Ross. It's a raw PVA. Most PVAs that you buy are, what do you call it, generally watered down. Whereas Baker Ross is a gel type. It's the raw stuff and it's damn good. Stuff. Well, you can make stuff then, dude. If you're not going to be any more specific than that, I can't help you, man. Kez with the new hair in the house.
Old hair now.
It's old hair. Jace saying, be right back. Probably texting her now. Turns out that Jace isn't texting the missus while I'm on these live chats,
Tell
you
him
know.
he can't now because I haven't got well, tell him that my phone's buggered.
Yeah, Kerry's phone's buggered so you can't, Jace. How many hours a day do you usually spend making terrain? It varies, mate. Commissions, I can do 14, 15-hour days easy. When I'm making tutorials, typically a day is about 8 hours in the studio, but that's filming, that's making terrain, and then you've got a couple of hours in the evening, what you call it, editing and that sort of stuff, and answering comments. It's weird because I'm not a full-time terrain maker. I'm sort of 50% terrain maker and 50% YouTuber. You know what I mean?
Any ideas on your computers?
How'd you get cheap snow effects? No idea, darling, sorry.
You had it earlier when you were watching Smurfs.
Willow had it earlier. I just covered that one earlier, mate. Go scroll back earlier in the conversation.
Who's on your computer?
You guys always done crafting? I have, yeah, man. Yeah, since a nipper. Have you done Japanese trees before? Not that I'm aware of. Are you talking about blossoms and that sort of stuff, or something specific? I mean, I've done blossoms before, but with you saying Japanese trees, I'm just wondering now, is it something I'm not missing? Hey, Bill, how you doing? Ah, it's Sue. Hello, darling. I want to start making markets and I don't have access to expensive crafting and stuff. Please help. You need to start looking at things like, what you call it, chopsticks, coffee stirrers, yeah, lollipop sticks, all those sort of things for your materials, and start building your markets out of that. For the top, the canvases, you can use baby wipes soaked in PVA. So that should give you a place to start, dude. What sort of ratio of paint to thinner do you use for your airbrush? Depends on the paint, mate, because it's obviously every paint has a different thickness, you know. So what I'd use for my army painter paints, the ratio would be different to what I use for my house wall paints. Yeah, generally I go for the consistency of just slightly thicker than milk. Haven't seen any poster board creation yet, or have I missed it? I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, mate. Do you have any good ways of doing mud? Mix some grit and filler and a bit of brown paint together, mate. Works a treat. Hey, Fernando? Have you seen the silicon pyramid mats you can get for your oven? Might be good to give quick volume to the mountings, then add material to get the shape that you want. I haven't, dude. But we're kind of thinking, I'm thinking, what do you call it? Foil rock molds. I don't want to go into it too much here, but someone mentioned it, and the more I think about it, the more I think, actually, that's going to give a brilliant result. Mel's hair is kind of getting shaggy, stops working for the man, and it goes all hippie. Told you, it's the weekend scruff. We've already discussed this. Good evening. Have you ever built Space Hulk modular style? No, I haven't. I used to play Space Hulk on the I always wanted to do a Space Hulk board, but never got round to it. I think if I did, I'd go with Hearst Arts and their space molds. I have no idea with Humbrol acrylics what you'd have to thin them down with, but like I say, I tend to go for. Oh, bloody hell, we've had a paper. Rudy, he does that every show. Just a couple of nuggets. We'll get you on the screen, Rudy. Has he sent a message? No, no message, just the usual. Right. Oh, unlucky Max. For my entertainment, which water effects do you recommend? Depends. Depends on the project, to be perfectly honest. I switch mainly between resins and acrylic gels. You bitch.
I'll tell you what happens.
Really? Don't you watch Doctor Who without me?
I'm doing watch Doctor Who without me.
No.
I am.
No.
I am.
No. If the stream goes down, that's because I'll have switched the internet off. So somewhat.
You are better not switch the internet off.
You better not watch Doctor Who without me.
I'm watching Doctor Who.
No, you don't. Don't watch Doctor. Don't watch Doctor Who. Oh. That's a valid reason for filing for divorce, isn't it? She's cheating on me with Doctor Who. Have you ever made a Lord of the Rings mock? What's a mock? Saw about your armies on parade board. One step at a time, Gaz. What got you into wargaming terrain building? Oh, I've talked about this loads, but basically, I grew up in a craft shop with my mum, mate. So I grew up crafting, and then I got into wargames. Toffalo, thanks, bud. Doctor Who leads to divorce. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Outrageous. Shouldn't be allowed to do that. Wonder if I can get on the router and block a laptop. What are you watching it on? Shall I nip on the router?
What?
Shall I nip on the router?
Touch it and I'll break your legs. Seriously.
Threats of violence because I'm stopping to watch Doctor Who without me. Morally wrong. Morally wrong. So anyway, right, we need to get Rudy on the screen, don't we? And give a massive shout out. Oh, and Scott's jumped on as well. So, Scott L and Rudy M. Thank you, boys. Boys, lads, gents, people. Rudy. Rudy 8. Oh, come on, click the bloody barbos. Spell it right as well. You'd think with the amount of times I've done this, I should get his name right. Scott L. There you go, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel, guys. I need to check emails as well, don't I? Because that's the one thing I haven't been doing, just in case we get any patrons, because they don't come up on my phone. Yeah, we're all good. Right, where were we? Let's get back to the comments. We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Scott. Much appreciated, buddy. Are you a happy chappy? I'm always a happy chappy. Or 90% of the time. 5% of the time I'm sort of like, And the other 5% I'm a big grouch. Don't you bring your cheesy jokes on here, British modeler. And that's way too, what you call it, way too cheesy. Rudy's trying to buy himself into, what you call it, into being an admin. There can be only one. I'm from Europe. It's midnight at this moment. Ah, yeah, you'll be a couple of hours ahead, won't you? You're really good at terrain making, but name something you're really bad at. Making YouTube videos. Jason said, I wish I could buy my way out of admin. No, man. I own your soul. You're mine now. By the way, thanks for the video. Starting a video. I build cabinets and furniture. I've always wanted to do terrain by commission. It was a really nice reality check for me. I'm spread enough, thin enough already. No worries, Norville. You know, that's what it was there for. Hey, cat. I thought the Thursday experiment was good. Caught up with the vids, then a live build, good thing. Yeah, I like that as well. I must admit, I think what you call it, when we get these feature builds, that's the way I'm going to handle them. One weekly. And did you like the vid itself, guys? You know what I mean? The idea of, look, this is like a vlog and a tutorial. You know what I mean? It was a bit strange to sort of film. Still finding my feet with that sort of format. Because I normally do vlogs or I do tutorials, but I don't sort of combine the two. But I really do like the weekly update, and then you guys jump on with your suggestions as we're doing the next stage in that evening. Jake's too right. My wife thinks I'm a grouch 95% of the time. I'm sure Kez does as well. Adam Robinson, evening from me and Stuart. Evening.
I'm not watching Doctor Who's done something to my computer.
Who's done something?
Reese Corbin, Mom.
There's going to be blood up the wall. Rudy's not giving up on his quest. Greg saw Thursday, but not. I enjoyed the way it worked with the videos and the live show. Nice one. How many hours have you spent on the map this week in total? Well, this whole week we had, what you call it? Probably about 20 hours. Yeah, 2.5 days. You got to factor in filming and that sort of thing, which sort of takes up a lot of time. You know what I mean? Getting cameras, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but about 20 hours work. You know, across Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I remember a moment when I think you were not a happy chappy. Ah, there's been times, man. But you got to look on the brighter side, haven't you? Could you please do a video on how to make a pine tree? There's loads of different ways. We'll put it on the tree list. You lot are just talking in orchard amongst yourselves. That'll do me. I'll have a bit of a brew then. Oh, have we had more? Have we had more donations? I don't know. Let's check. Oh, yes. Gaz is chipped in. Thank you, Gaz. Let's get Gaz on the screen. Right. I should know how to do this by now. Thank you, Gaz. He's a good in that, man. I have to find the right buttons. When you had to break into your car. Oh, yeah. Dobby? Who are you? You Jorko's lad? Where was your mum's craft shop, Mel? No, what your mum's craft shop was in Amlwch in Anglesey. Do you dip biscuits into your tea? Of course I do. Are there any more products to review? We've got a couple of things, a couple of products that I've still got to, I hope people reviews on. Yeah, but they'll be just coming as they come. I was planning to go to sleep, but you needed to do a Q&A live stream. We do it every Sunday, mate. If you're knackered, catch us next week. Right, I have no idea what's going on with the car breaking in thing. So many new games, it's great to see them all. Hi, top of the morning to you, lad. Just wanted to know what your favourite football team is. It's weird, to be perfectly honest. I'm actually an FA licensed physio. You know, I used to work in football. You know, I trained at Crew Alex and at Port Vale. Yeah, you know, I've done work at Stoke. Yeah, I trained at the Lily Shaw Medical Education Centre. And to be perfectly honest, yeah, I'm not a big fan of football. Okay, I got put off it when I actually ended up working in it. When you work at the top end, yeah, you actually start to see how little the players actually give a shit about football. You know what I mean? And it sort of disheartened me. Really did. They were more concerned about getting up Alderley Edge and hitting the crystal, you know, the champagne. You know, and it didn't matter if there was a match the next morning or anything like that. And it used to, like, you know, you got people paying serious money to come watch and support you, and you don't give a damn. You know, and then so if it comes down to football, I would much rather go and see an amateur team. Yeah, a team that pays subs, club subs, so they can play. Because at least there's the passion there. You know what I mean? So no, I don't actually support. And I got disillusioned, to be perfectly honest. But that's what they say, isn't it? You know, you should never really know too much about, you know, your heroes and that sort of stuff. And when I ended up working in there, you see it with a different shade. That's why I like rugby, Mel. Rugby guys are far better, to be perfectly honest. You miss Mel and Kez fighting over Doctor Who. Right, I'm not having a massive conversation about football. That ain't happening. We're not going there. Okay? Pub teams in the local park, eh, Mel? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I prefer the passion. And I think once you get into professional football, especially near the top, yeah, I feel that way about Mel. Never get too close to your heroes. Yeah, Jason said, Jason, if I was Jason's hero, trust me, yeah, he spent enough time with me for me not to be his hero anymore. You boy in the park, jumpers for goalposts. Marvellous. You should do some more zombie apocalypse terrain. I've got a few more modern vids coming. Yeah, a couple of things I want to tick off to get the main sort of stuff done. And then we'll just crack on. Any other hobbies or interests you want to talk to us about. I did actually realise that I need to get more hobbies, because I kind of work in my hobby now, which is kind of weird. I love it, but it's kind of weird, because my hobby now, there's always that element of work when I do my hobby. Yeah, and I thought, perhaps I should take up and learn drawing, mixing with all these arty folks. I thought, what would you draw? And I was like, oh, I'd love to be able to draw maps. Straight back into hobby. Mel, what's some place you want to visit one day that you also want to do terrain for? I'd love to do I'd love to do the glaciers and that sort of stuff. Scandinavia, Norway, go up and do the Nordic countries. Gaz, Mel is my hero, and I have met him, and he's everything you could want in a hero, and more importantly, is a much slower painter than me, which cheered me up no end. Yeah, Gaz is a beast when it comes to painting. Proper beast, you know what I mean? We went back to the hotel, I went to bed, he went to paint. Play more, I should. Being a professional comic book artist, letterer puts me off comics. Yeah, I get it. Pray for Jace. No, I'm not even reading that. World maps or small-scale dungeon maps? World maps to start off with. Learning how to draw mountains, there's a couple of good sites which have tutorials on that I've been looking at. It's like, I could do that. Any chance to get a toolbox series? Well, we covered brushes and main tools in... Did we cover tools? Yeah, we covered tools and stuff. It's in the back to basics, dude. Already done it. Have you looked at what your army in 40k is like now? No, I haven't. I made the decision that I am interested in 40k, but I want the hype to die down first before I start looking into it properly. Have you looked into Mandel while doing trees, etc.? Mandel? Don't know what you mean, mate. Just fixing the missus' flip-flops count as hobbying. If not, I've been really bad this weekend and not done a thing more on the river. John, you've been really bad, dude. Flip-flops don't count as hobby. I want to build a section of wall for the gatehouse at Bassin House, but I can't see any helpful resources for the gatehouse. How would you continue in this situation? If you want to be accurate, ring up your local library or their local library. They'll have reference material. Yeah, they'll be able to point you in the depth, because they'll have reference material from previous things that aren't online. See, everyone goes on Google, and if they can't find it on Google, they assume it doesn't exist. There was paper and photos and stuff before Google. Is Mel pining for the fjords? Mel is, yeah. He also wants me to build. He also wants to build me a Blood Bowl board. I do, Jace. I do. How do you make good-looking 1/35 flowers? I'd probably go for about 6mm static grass. Yeah, do some tufts. What shall it? Use something like carpet tack fire or latex glue as the base, and then brush over the top with PVA and dip into some like either scatter or coarse ground material. Some nice colours. You and Corb should probably come to the library club next Saturday, Mel. Drop me a message, mate. Not sure what's going on next Saturday. I have a feeling Kez might be away. She's going to see Mrs. Brown's boys in Leeds sometime soon. You could take up 3D design as a new hobby. Believe it or not, I've been playing with SketchUp. Fractals, Mel. Calm down, dude. The trees are hard enough without bringing fractals into them. Yes, Jez, I did see your Ragnarok armor you posted. Last Sunday show got me through a lot of hand stitching. That was really nice, mate. That was really nice. Any idea on nice fire effects? What sort of fire? You talking about open fire? You talking about smoke? What scale? Left my train outside to dry and forgot to bring it in. It rained all night. Do I give it to the gopher as a peace offering or go through the effort of saving? Have you ever done this? No, Jerry, I've never done it. Yeah. My best bet for you is just let it dry and see what you come out with the other end. Who's a good supplier of cheap MDF terrain besides other than Sarissa and Foreground? God, Adam, there's tons. War Bases, War Mill, TT Combat, Knights of Dice, Burnt In Designs, Burnt by Design, Dark Ops. There's loads, man, loads. What type of maps do you like, or is it any? Fantasy or medieval maps, to be truthful, mate. Jace went for a little daddy nap this afternoon and it's tired him out. Oh, dude. I'm feeling for you, man. I'm feeling for you. Yeah, stream's good. Right. Comments. SketchUp's no good. Mel teaches bad habits and it doesn't output STL files. Right, simplify 3D. So I need to change my program, do I? What terrain mistake do you hate to see people making? I don't. You got to remember, guys, I always approach terrain as everything is awesome, you know, because you've taken the effort to make it. So I don't see mistakes. I mean, I do see when I look at terrain, I can see mistakes and I can see what needs doing to take it up to the next level and all that sort of stuff. But I don't consciously concentrate on that. You know, I don't criticize terrain. Is there a way of making castle molds for dragon teeth anti-tank obstacles? Castle molds? Yeah, I mean, sculpt them up out of putty, coat them in varnish, do a silicone mold, mate. I know campaign. Crilly is saying check out what you call it, campaign cartographer. I know campaign cartographer. I played with it quite a bit. I've always fancied making a full table size map for gaming one, but I don't think the wife would be so keen. Name the land after her. She'll love it. Then build it under the dining table under a glass top. She'll love it even more. How would you make, or who makes 28mm horse-drawn ploughs? If I was making them, it would be stirrers and balsa wood, mate, and plastic card. And a lot of super glue and sticking things to fingers. Yeah, I don't know anyone who makes them. There's got to be someone. I use my mistakes as a chance to learn. That's the way to roll. Mel's like, yeah, we can see terrain through the terrainiacs. That's bad, man. Could you go a whole day without saying what you call it? Depends if I'm filming. I only say what you call it if I'm filming. Same with yeah. I only say it when I'm filming. Have you ever tried the toilet paper method to do water effects? I know of it. I haven't tried it because I prefer the techniques. I prefer the resins, the acrylic gels. They produce a better result. So it's, I've never gone backwards. Do you know what I mean? What got you into war games and making terrain? The terrain was simple. I grew up in a craft shop. My mum used to own one. War games, that was moving from Wales to England, going to a new school, making some mates who already played it and introduced me to Warhammer. And I don't say crack on to Kez either, Jace. So calm it, lad. Calm it, young man. So, 100 people watching. Nice one. We normally have a much longer chat at the start, don't we? Before we get into the Q&As. But you lot bullied me straight into the Q&As. Only 25 likes? You buggers. What's up? Ignore Jace. Hit the dislike button. Go on, if you click like, change it. Go on, let's have a dislike spike. Go on, nail that dislike button. Let's see how many dislikes we can get on this video. Come on then, forget the likes. Don't listen to Jace. Not on that. Listen to him on the Patreon, the PayPal. That actually really helps me. But, the likes and the dislikes, that shit's a giggle. So come on, let's have a giggle. Let's see how many dislikes we can get. Jace will be here. Jace will be like, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to help you, Mel. Yeah, I'm in one of those moods tonight. Oh, I am looking rough, aren't I? I'm going to have a face scrape. Everyone stop commenting, which means almost 20 dislikes. Brilliant. Keep it going, guys. It's Sunday. It's shits and giggles night, isn't it? Can you share the TTT logo, or are you going to make them available when I've finalised? Yeah, what the TTT logo is going to look like. I will. Weeps into his hands like a baby that's lost his rattle. Keep up the good work, Jace. Do you know I could be? I'm damn sure I could be really successful if it wasn't for me. Yeah, everyone, all the dislikes will make people watch it. What did Mel do on this one? Anyone play Skyrim game? No. Hey, Tamsin. It was a couple of British Army guys that introduced me to Warhammer back in '85 when I was stationed in Germany. That got me into. Nice one, dude. Oh, you and political. Let's keep out of politics. You know the rule. We build the fantasy world so we don't have to deal with the real world. Sorry, photos of Project. That's me in Shetland. I hope to get a catalogue of rugged terrain before I go. You go for it, Rat. Death easy, crack on. I thought I'd do one better and report this video as spam or misleading. Really, Rudy. Sorry for the dislike, Mel, but you asked for it. No worries, biker boy. No notifications. Anthony, you don't need a notification. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. Am I that forgettable? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? By the end of my first admin show, I will have it as an audio-only show where he sits in silence. Oh, do you think, Rudy? Do you think, man? Reality's awful. Don't do it. Do what? Do you ever use static grass? Yes, I do. It's been a while, though, to be perfectly honest. Thinking about it. I mean, I've made tufts and stuff like that, but it's been a while since I've actually laid down static grass. Because we didn't do it on the D-Day board, did we? No. Do you know what? I don't think I've laid down static grass in over a year. Because we didn't do it on the D-Day board. We didn't do it on the zombie apocalypse board. Right, let's just keep that one between us, eh? This may be the first time you haven't been eating on a show that I have watched. Thanks for reminding me, Gaz. It's about break time. I do need notifications. I have a memory of a goldfish when it comes to remembering dates. That's what this is for. Did I miss anything? I left during the Doctor Who argument. Well, right now I'm missing Doctor Who. I can hear it in there. If you ever decide to sell terrain shirts, someone's mentioned t-shirts. Okay, let's get that. This stream is distracting me from my night shift. Nice one, Josh. I don't really care for static grass. It works well. You've got to do it right to lay it down and get really good effect with static grass. There's a knack to it. You know what I mean? I like it as tufts, and I prefer scatter. To be perfectly honest, yeah, it just works better with laying models and handling and that sort of stuff. But you can get some lovely effects with static grass. That spanner at the side of Jason's name makes him look like your mechanic man. I can just imagine you telling him to make someone go away, and he pulls out a Glock. That would be epic. What's the D-Day all flock? I thought there was some static in the stand. No, it was all flock. We put tufts on it, you know what I mean, but we didn't actually lay out static grass. Mel, do you know of any good cheap alternatives to textured plastic card? Need to cover some big areas for a 40k board. What sort of texture, mate? Teespring, Mel. I know. We're going to have to get onto the t-shirts. Catch you later, Rudy. Now you mentioned it, Mal. How about a tutorial on building a Dalek? Don't even mention it. You'll have Warlord on me case. With regards to distracting Josh on his late shift, humans come in with, that's okay, mate, as long as you're not an air traffic controller. Yeah, if you're an air, get back to those little blobs. Any experience building a castle? I just dug out my Warhammer Siege book and started cutting foam to make a castle. I've made tons of, well, I've made 3. Yeah, 3 castles. No, 4 with the I made 3 before I started the channel, and then we did the the one that was the Blackfire Pass. I need to make another castle. How would you do grass being pushed down by a flying vehicle's downwash? Basically what you do is, right, okay. It's kind of a dark art, mate. But you can lay grass down at an angle, yeah, if you use a static grass applicator like the Flock Box. You've just got to sort of use the static charge that as you're laying as the grass gets sprinkled down, you sort of use the static charge to pull it over in the directions you want. And I've done this. I've created like windswept looks on models and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So where is he? I've got a model and he's got like a cloak that comes really out to the side, like being blown hard. So I put static grass on it, and at the same time, I static grassed it in such a way that the grass was being blown as well to link in with that. But it's done by using the static charge to drag the grass over. Downvotes and new upvotes. How many Westies in? Hey, dude, would you do a tutorial on a castle? Damn right I would. I saw foregrounds buildings for the first time in real life yesterday. Quick question, why are they so expensive? Every single one of the sets was over £100. Right. There you go, baby. Was it good? I hate you. No, I don't. I despise you. No, I don't. Something.
You don't want a cup of tea then?
Yes, I would like a cup of coffee, please. I think you look at the premium kits, mate, the big ones like the church and the Stoic Arms. I mean, they're smaller buildings. They're about, I think they're about 14, 15, 16 quid. Not everything's over £100, dude. Lincoln molds. I've got some of those in the kitchen, actually. They are good. Bit thin, though. You know what I mean? I suppose you could use them for cladding. But I'd be a bit concerned actually constructing a building out of them. Thumbs up for a castle tutorial. Don't do that. Defeats our thumbs down. Oh, thank you, baby. Give Kez the old, I'm not angry, I'm upset. It would. One project at a time, though. Yeah, I need to finish. Would like to do a castle. When is your next visit to another terrain guy going to be? It's been a while. You also mentioned maybe visiting a scale modeler. I'm reaching out to a few different people and trying to sort things, but obviously, you know, with their lives and my life and everything, you know, finding a date, yeah, it's, I mean, to be perfectly honest, it probably took about 4 months to sort out the one with Dave. And I didn't even plan another one after Dave because, you know what I mean? Because I didn't even know how Dave's was going to go. Yeah, so they are in the mix, and I want to do them, and I'm reaching out to people. But like I say, yeah, because woodlands scenery is so expensive. Does that make it the best option, or are there better, cheaper options? There's always better, cheaper options, mate. I mean, they're nice stuff. Don't get me wrong, but there's always other options. Must have just been at the show. They had about 15 sets. They had the church and wanted 120 for it though. But a load of stuff from Bring and Buy section of the show. Ah, right. I think the 120 church is the graveyard and everything, isn't it? Sorry, I'm upset about GW telling the Army Builder site to close. That'll be interesting. Can I be your apprentice? No. Linker. The spike of dislike. The spike of dislike. I like that. Alright, check comments and stuff like that. Just wanted to make sure I haven't missed anyone. I don't think it's going to be that sort of show tonight. Oh, Fred's just pledged on Patreon, so we better get him on. Awesome. Right, let me find Fred S. Let's get Fred S on the screen. Thank you, Fred. Every little pledge, every little donation, it does help keep me going. Right now, I've got till the end of July. And then after that, we'll see. So, massive shout out for Fred S for jumping on and supporting the channel. Thank you, buddy. Right, comments. Castle will be outstanding. To my eyeballs of problems with castles. I do mostly haunted one, falling apart and crumbly. The problem is they tend to look new. Give them a good wash. Yeah, I think the graveyard. Yeah, in the box. I think the actual church on its own is about 80 quid. The castle anthrax. And don't forget the fair maidens and their skimpy negligees. Is that what's that out of? If you're ready, look, you can mess with me all you want and say, yeah, we want a castle tutorial, but you know, because we get this and we get requests, and can you do this, and can you do this, can you do this? Right, let me put this in context for you. Okay, let's say that I build a castle, and for it to be a decent castle, I'm probably going to have to put at least, say, 40 to 60 hours in it, a week to a week and a half. That means that that means that with filming and editing, I'm looking at approximately a month's work. Yeah. Setting up the cameras and that sort of stuff, doing the filming, doing the editing. That you can spend as much time doing that or more time doing that than you can actually do than you spend the terrain. So for a week to a week and a half of building a castle, there will also be a week to a week and a half of of video stuff. Then after that, you've got answering all the comments for eternity. Yeah, for as long as people comment on that, you know, responding to it and all that sort of stuff. So you can probably throw on a couple of days at least for that, you know. If you factor all that in, that's a month. Yeah. Now I'm trying to do on average six patron videos, 6 to 7 patron videos a month, you know, as a way of supporting it. So I would have to get 6 or 7 videos out of that build, yeah, to be able to pay to make that castle build. So when you guy goes, everyone wants a castle, yeah, my problem is, yeah, I'd love to build a castle, yeah, but if you want me to build a castle, you know, that's going to be a lot of work, you know. And so I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Sometimes it's a struggle to genuinely give you guys what you want, because financially, and I don't want to talk like I'm not making enough money or anything like that, but it's like, that's a lot of work, yeah, for what I could probably only get a couple of videos out of. Do you know what I mean? Helm's Deep would be beautiful. You want Helm's Deep. Have you done any scenery for Spaceflight games? Yeah, I've done that ages ago. Various asteroids and a space station. For small dioramas, would acrylic be better than MDF as a base foundation to slot the models in? No, mate, because you've got to paint on top of it. Yeah, MDF is better because it will absorb the paint. What you'll find is as you're taking your models in and out, you'll chip the acrylic and the bare acrylic will come shining through. We'll have to get him cut it up and post us each a bit. How about a ruined castle then? You would. Don't build a full castle, build a ruined castle. They can be more work. Now, do you know of Duke Siegfried? 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 What's the best way to make muddy ground with little puddles? Filler, paint, grit, lay it down, and when you want your puddles, make a depression in it and add a little bit of water and give it a little bit of stir. It'll thin the filler down in that specific spot and make it look more like sloppy mud. Minas Tirith. Listen, if I commit to making a castle, you guys better, like, you know what I mean? Better not be bothered about me doing like 8 castle videos in a row. Because I ain't going to have any time to do anything else. Anthony, you just shut up. I wonder if there's scope for you to do commissions for museums. I've looked into it, guys, to be perfectly honest, and it's there. There's good money, but I wouldn't be doing what I really wanted to do. The only caveat of that, and this is going back to castles, is, you know, when you go like round English Heritage and, you know, and they have the diorama of what the castle looked like in its heyday. Those I'd do. Okay, if Kez okay, could you do it as a commission for the castle build rolls in? Sorry, Gangamaz, I don't understand what you're saying, mate. The problem is, Grawley, that with something like a castle, I don't think you could show techniques. You'd have to build a castle. You know what I mean? Oh, you can shut up, Ewan, as well. When you get round 100,000 subs, the chat moves so fast it will make you have a seizure. We get to see you more. Yes, you certainly do. Look, I'm encouraging people to dislike it. Now you're getting everyone to like it. With my likes are going to be going up. My likes and dislikes are going to be up and down faster than a prostitute's knickers. Oh, you could. And Jace, put Anthony in a timeout. And him. What would you do with a castle once you built it? As the finance comes through, you build as the commission builds up. If I was to do a castle, I'd want to get it built and done. My concern with the idea of doing it over time, you know what I mean, so to allow me to do the other stuff, is with the castle would be a feature project. I wouldn't want it to become a bit like the Burma board, which is like, oh, I'll just put that on the side while I finish this. It would be one of those projects that it's like, right, guys, we're starting this. This is what we're doing, and we ain't finishing till it's done. You know what I mean? You know, if you play with a fidget spinner and some slime while you do this, your views will double. Yeah, but that's like, Mel doesn't follow trends. Mel hates trends. You know, if there's a hype going on in the world, Mel will keep himself as far away from that hype as possible. To everyone watching, send the chat $5 for a castle. What think? If only, dude. If only, dude. Storage space is an issue. It is actually, genuinely. I mean, Jace helped me with the studio, and we put up a load of shelves and that sort of stuff. But even with that, I'm still ram-packed in there. Mel's Kickstarter castle. What would you get from the kick? Do you know what I mean? I understand the idea. You know, you guys, we put out a project to fund building the castle. You know, because a project like that would need funding beyond what Patreon currently gives me. You know what I mean? But what would you guys get out of it? You know, for the guys back in the Kickstarter. Yeah, I think the castle would have too many moving parts, as it were, to be able to shelve for a month and then come back to it. He's really mulling it. Yeah, I love castles, man. Don't, you know, I grew up in Wales. Yeah, there's more castles per capita in Wales than anywhere else on the planet. I grew up playing in Beaumaris Castle. Yeah, I love castles. Thank you, Paul. PDF video log. But that goes against the idea that, you know, everything I do I put out and share. I don't agree with like exclusive content. I don't do that with backers, you know what I mean, with patrons, you know what I mean? A signed photo of the creator of the castle. Oh, Ewan, I don't give you a signed photo. I don't see that working well. I've got to retire to Wales. He even went to Hogwarts. I haven't been to see Hogwarts yet, actually. I collect 1/64 scale cars. What are the top 3 ways that you would want to display them? Burnt out, crashed, embedded in the side of like an urban room with a space marine shooting over it. I'm a wargamer, mate, not a car collector. Wrong person to ask. Do some roads and some flowers and a tree. Maybe a shop. But give it to me, I'm going to burn the buggers out and make them look like trash. I've debated doing one in 3D design print, but it's a massive time sink. I can imagine it would be. So it's a massive project. It's building a bloody castle. Oh yeah! Martin Bailey. Castles grew up in progressions. Yeah, starts out wooden, build a stone one, then you build the. So what if we started out and we built, yeah, we built the Bailey first, i.e. the separate castle built, but we build it with the intention that we're going to put it on top of the mall, which is the hill, and then we can build the hill, okay, and we can use certain styles to do the fortification of that, which means I get to cover palisades, which is another good video, and bridge, yeah, and then yeah, if we're smart, we could also incorporate that into maybe scatter terrain for the larger sort of enclosure that can, you know, that contains, you know, the houses and the little, you know. What about Mel's terrain building boot camp? That's coming. Well, actually, I'm thinking of doing workshops, should I say. Everyone will get a full-size 6x4 gaming board castle. It's a shame you couldn't photograph it from above and print it as a gaming mat. Do you know what I mean? So everyone who pledged got a digital photo castle gaming mat. That'd be cool. Video on mode. What a confusing Kickstarter campaign that would be for non-terrainiacs. Some bloke making a castle on Kickstarter and the rewarder is he's doing a go for dancing drag. Hey, what's this about? It's the way Mel rolls. The evolution of fortification. Yolandra. Oh. Mel just had a terrainophy. Summer Castle Community Build Project. Send Mel money now if you want this to be a reality. Gee, how about How about castles for summer? I've got to have the foreground build done. Yeah. I know I've got a couple of little things that I need to do afterwards, but they're not massive jobs, do you know what I mean? But we could do that, couldn't we? Mott and Bailey, start with the castle, go down wooden path. I get to dig out all my books on castles. I've got hundreds. Actually, I think I've got about 17. There are people who do custom printed battle mats from any photo. Well, tell you what we'll do. Yeah? I think the full-on castle is going to be unrealistic right now. Maybe in a year's time when Patreon's bigger and the channel's bigger and that sort of stuff. And you see, as you guys know, yeah, the way Patreon works is you pledge per video and you specify the number of videos per month you want to support. Okay, now the vast majority of you, 2/3 of you, basically pledge $1 for one video. Okay, and then after that, the other third, it varies up to, some do unlimited, but there's only so many videos I can do in a month, you know what I mean? It's $1. So, but pretty typically, yeah, I get the bulk of my cash for the first video because I get it off pretty much in fact, I do get it off everyone. Then for the second video, I'm only getting money from a third of you. Now, as that amount, yeah, now the way it works out is the videos that I do later in the month, yeah, are doable because the time it takes to make those is essentially paid with like the big bulk from the first video, yeah. And so as that bulk gets bigger, technically I'll be able to reduce the amount of Patreon videos I do. So what I could get down to the stage of doing like one Patreon video and just doing 4 Patreon videos a month, which means it would be less video editing time for me, which means it'd make the job more achievable. We could do it over a month and it would just be more viable. So let's hold the big castle idea and everything that's associated with it. Let's roll that off for the year and just say, okay, we'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. You'd like me to do it. Yeah. But reasonably, it just isn't viable without something like a Kickstarter or a massive influx of cash. Yeah. So let's just hold off on that one. But let's go for like fortifications. And we'll do a Let's Makes. Yeah, and we'll do a Let's Makes, but what we'll do it is in a way that the modular Let's Makes build on each other. So slowly, the Let's Makes get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until we end up with like a big piece, all made out of all the. You could run a Kickstarter for a workbook. Thinking about that, to be truthful, it's been mentioned in the past. I need to team up with a publishers though. Mark, can you just plan it? Just make it out so it's not a cast off. Oh, Anthony. Jace, definitely put him in another timeout. Build a keep, show the techniques which can then transpose onto other castle bits. Yeah. That's a fantastic compromise. Her starts molds. Oh, Gangamaz, I've made stuff in. Can you imagine if I did a hit? It'd crack me table, dude. Board, make backdrop the castle. Jace has actually put Ant in a timeout. I was joking. Sorry, Ant, that was my fault, man. And that was completely my fault. Jace was just doing what I told him. I've got to stop. I'm going to have to stop joking about putting people in timeouts. There's nothing I can do about it. How much would you need to make the castle? I don't know, mate, to be perfectly honest. You could also layer it. Start with catacombs, then dungeon, and layer up. Did you know that dungeon comes from the French word donjon, Yeah, and the donjon was the what you call it is the actual strongest part of the actual keep. You know, the central bit of the castle, and it's actually normally the very first bit of the keep they build as a single tower. Yeah. Now, when you look at keeps, yeah, you will have the donjon, which is generally a larger, rounder tower. Okay, and it's where the king or the lord essentially lives, and it's the last defensible position. So if they get into the keep, you can actually defend the donjon, yeah, because all the doors are barred and that sort of stuff. Now the donjon, now the term dungeon actually comes from the bottom of the donjon, yeah, because that's where the lord would want to keep his important prisoners, yeah. I.e., if you're going to come raid me to come get your king back, yeah, I'm going to keep him right in the safest place so I can kill him, yeah, or hold him hostage if you get into my keep. So that's where dungeon comes from donjon. Fattest bloke, it doesn't work like that, mate, because you've got additional costs. You've got to pay for the studio, I've got to pay taxes, all those associated factors. It's not just employment wages. Do you know what I mean? There's the other fixed costs that are associated with running a YouTube channel and having a studio and all that sort of stuff. Have you got whips in the bad boys corner? Don't need one. Is Anthony back yet? No, he's got a couple of minutes yet. No, Anthony, just think hard about what you did and write me an essay for how wrong it was and how not to do it again, Chase. Hey, it always makes it look like an accident. That's why he charges so much for his hits. Now, we calculated it once 5 months ago. He needs 800 materials and about 2k a month. That was for the really big detailed project, wasn't it? I think what you call it, moving forward, I don't know if what you call it, if it's going to be viable, yeah, to do the full castle. Not at this stage of the channel. You know what I mean, guys? I just don't think it is. Maybe next year when, I'm bigger, I have more patrons and that sort of stuff. Yeah, but right now, no. Projects like that can kill a channel. You know what I mean? So, but I do like the idea of working up a Mott and Bailey and, going through that section as a Let's Makes series. Also, the walls will be now, making them less susceptible to collapse if tunnelling done and a failure would fall onto the attackers. Are you thinking about doing a workshop and would it be local? It'd be in Stoke, mate. It'd be in my studio in Spode. I figure right now I can fit 4 people around my desk. You know what I mean? My work table. So 4 people could comfortably come, do a workshop with me, and learn something. Did they have wooden spikes when they started the Mott and Bailey? Yeah, Mott and Baileys were started as wooden structures and then upgraded to stone. They're called palisades. Anthony Haywood, Terrain Treater, you suck. So do you, Jace. I'm not going to argue, man. At least you got back in before the end of the show. I don't know why Mal isn't doing panels at the cons. No one's asked me. Well, I did get asked. I got asked to demo at Red on Blue. And it was like, right, and I just turned around and said, because it was like travel and all that sort of stuff. And it was like, excellent. And they were like, no, we just expect you to turn up, bring all your own materials and that sort of stuff and work for the day. And I was like, all right then. And advertise the show on your channel that you're going to be there. All right then. Anthony is free of the donjon. He is. I picture Mel with a headset doing a tutorial like Vince from ShamWow. Anthony, you'll end up in the bad boys' corner if you're not careful. I'll tell you what, the bad boys' corner has been busy tonight, hasn't it? Could dramatic waterfalls and gorges be incorporated into your BBE and then used to demonstrate water terrain techniques? No, mate, not into my BBB build. Yeah, but we are planning on doing stuff with that. Sorry, I had a dog emergency. It's all right, Jace. Cons generally want to make money off you, not pay you. Well, exactly. You know, there's a couple of conventions I have a good relationship with. Salute. I mean, the guys at Salute, they give me press status. Yeah, so I don't have to pay for my tickets, you know, and I can get in a bit earlier and that sort of stuff. And I don't mind that, you know, I don't mind people not paying me to go, you know, covering my expenses to go to cover Salute, because they never asked me to cover Salute. I just started covering it, you know what I mean? And they were like, well, you know, here you are, have these, you know, we like your videos, get in early, and, you know, that sort of thing. So, but if I'm being asked to go work a con, then, you know, the bare minimum, your expenses should be covered. Did you know the range sells tools for cutting foam board at 45 degrees? No, I did not. I really wish Mel would head to Adepticon. I know, but still. Dude, if I could, I would. I'd love to go. Right, I think, do you know what, guys? We have talked it through. Hey, I'm the train tutor. I'm here to tell you about the wonders of PVA. Or water it down and down. It's a different fluid entirely. Not enough. Well, there's more. Yeah, Jace's dog was hurt in a traffic accident, so you know, all send goodwill. You know what I mean? Good vibes. I need inspiration for orc terrain. No, don't say it, both. That's political. X-cut mount cutter. I'll check it out, Beavis. Oh, dude. Hope she gets better soon, mate. Terrain Minion says you can build terrain while there with Terrainaholic. I'll catch up with what you call it, with Bill and Sue for sure. They've even offered me a room. I'm still holding you that to Sue if you're still watching. She was watching earlier. Right, fingers crossed, Jace. Fingers crossed for you, dude. Let me know how you get on, Beef. Yeah, and fingers crossed for Jace. Right, guys, we are on 10:30, so I'm going to wrap this up. For the usual reasons, I'm out of my brew. Could do with a cigarette, and I need a wee-wee. Yeah, so let's wrap this up, eh? Interesting discussion about castles tonight, okay? Let me start planning something for after we get this Fable Realms build sorted. Yeah, because yeah, I think we can do that. Yeah. In the meantime, Tuesday's video is the Terrainiacs showcase, so I'll be showing off 13 different builds. Yeah, from you fine folks that have sent them in. I've recognised some names tonight. So you'll be get to seeing those, and then Thursday we are back with the next update to the Fable Realms board, and fingers crossed mountains should be going in by then, and rivers, and it should be coming together nicely. Yeah, so in which case, guys, you have a crack. Thanks for keeping me company, and thanks for making Sundays epic as always. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra! I'm going to find the button now. It's up here somewhere. It's that one. And